Hello everybody, welcome back. It's me, Silas the Red, and I welcome you to a bit of an interesting discussion today. So, a while back now, because I'm very out of touch with the news, 343 Studios is no longer. It has now become Halo Studios. Now, this new change will bring about more change as they step into a new direction of gaming. As you can see, Unreal Engine, they did a couple renders. Again, you guys know, it's not actual gameplay. It's not actual gaming related stuff. It's just rendered, just renders of Unreal Engine, concept renders, you could say, bit of concept art. It has the same value as concept art in such ways where it's expressing an idea, a perspective of what it could be, what the new title of Halo could be, or titles, because they are working on multiple titles. Now, that brings me to this episode today, or video. I apologize, I say episode a lot because I'm used to my podcast, which is currently taking a hiatus with just some development, but stay tuned for that one. Now, Halo Studios, what are they going to do next? Well, today I have a bit of an idea. I'm throwing my idea out there, possibly to lie on deaf ears, or possibly could be picked up by Halo Studios, which is definitely not going to happen. Now, what is it? Well, I welcome you to my slideshow as such of terrible concept art. Now, firstly, as you can see here, this is it's taken a lot of influence from Rainbow Six Siege. Now, this is where I get primarily all the reference and inspiration from for this next title of Halo, because I think the concept, the basis of what Rainbow Six Siege used to be, could very much still be replicated in terms of Halo, and also they could easily captivate the market because everybody who used to play Rainbow Six Siege no longer does, because they've taken a step back from the realistic and gritty style they used to have, and now they're going to more of, I don't even know what this is. All right, I don't know. Master Chief, what Master Chief doing here? Now, the big thing is it's going to be a take on Halo ODST, as terms of a sequel. So what it would be, very similar to Rainbow Six Siege. However, there's going to be additional modes because, again, Rainbow Six Siege, what did they do? They added a bunch of cool modes what everybody liked, like Outbreak, even that Golden Gun game mode. But then they took it away. And then, in terms of the Outbreak mode, they made a completely new game and charged another full price tag for it. Very strange marketing. Didn't work, as you could all imagine. However, this game could easily do better and trump Rainbow Six Siege where it is at the moment. Now, let's start off with casual play and ranked play. So these two are the main bulk. That's the main focus of this new title of ODST. So what it would be, similar to Rainbow Six Siege, literally almost the exact identical same. Similar to how you have PUBG, Fortnite, and all those battle royales, and also CSGO, Valorant, all that stuff. You know how they're very similar, replicating one another, and it's not, I don't even know how it's been allowed, but it's been allowed, right? So very similar to Rainbow Six Siege. It'll be literally one-to-one in terms of the gameplay. However, the difference is there's no operators, all right? There's no operators in the game. How it would work is very different. So casual play, ranked play, similar in the way it works with Rainbow Six Siege. So here we have the squad up section. Again, all these names are very subject to change. I just trying to display it in some way visually because I like visual reenactments of ideas. All right, so I apologize for the terrible naming and very much overused naming where I've just stripped Firefight from all the Halos. But this is all I'm gonna do. All right. So don't expect many great ideas from this. But squad ups. So not only does it have the Rainbow Six Siege gameplay, it also has 3 other additional game mode-esque things, right? So you got campaigns to start off with. Campaigns could work very similar to Battlefield, how you got the stories, the war stories. So you got different campaigns, possibly of different troops, different locations. So obviously you could have the typical one to fight all the militias and whatnot in the Halo story. So the insurrectionists and whatnot. So that could be one story. And this could be added, and you could even have DLC of it, okay? Don't worry, Halo Studios, you can make DLC off this. I'm sure people would buy it, all right, if it's good. Also, obviously, new Mombasa. That would be a great story. Again, fighting elites and whatnot. Next, you have Firefight. We all know Firefight. You could possibly have the Flood involved. I probably wouldn't. I'd actually have the focus of this Firefight more in terms of having insurrectionists, because that's never been done before. Have insurrectionists in the Firefight, and also maybe your typical aliens, your typical Covenant, elites, whatnot, all that stuff. Possibly so. I would like that. Secondly, you've got, thirdly, you got contracts. So with contracts, it could be very similar to Call of Duty, how you had the Spec Ops and it's got different missions. These contracts, they could possibly give you new customization, because customization is a big thing in Halo, and I do not want to disregard that in this title. So contracts, they would bring back a whole new plethora of missions and whatnot you could do. It's very similar to how it worked in Halo 4, or what they try to do when you had different specialists and you try to rank up those specialists to get cool cosmetics. This could work very similarly with the contracts. Okay, so after those three, again, this is very brief descriptions of it because I don't have very good brain. Uh, Next, we have the armory. Now, the armory, it's very peculiar here. You may be looking at it and going, what? So with this, you get the primary, the secondary, right? So you could choose your primary, so it could be either assault rifle, SMG, you can add all your attachments to it. No crazy like Halo 5 Guardians where you can have fire guns and one. No, just all it is just attachments. So scopes, your basic stuff. Very similar again, stripping it away from Rainbow Six Siege. So you could have, obviously different things. You could even have Covenant weapons in there. You could bring that about. I'm not too sure how you would do that, but you could possibly do it if you want. As long as the Storm Rifle is not in it, because I hate the Storm Rifle. But some way you can balance weapons. Next, you have the secondaries. Again, similar. You can balance those out. Next, you've got the tactical. So your grenades. You could choose what grenades you want. I think, again, you could just take the grenades from all the other Halo games. I think that would work perfectly. Equipment. Now, this is where it gets peculiar. So, even though we don't have specialists and operators in this game, you've got equipment. Now, this equipment could work very similar to how operators work in Rainbow Six Siege. So, you got a shield on, as you can see from this icon. So, you could have someone holding a shield. Possibly, you could have a shield operator. And that might restrict the primary weapon. So, it might blank out the primary weapon because you've got this, right? So, that would be one idea. And again, with each of these loadouts, you've got presets. So it's very easy. You could go preset 1, which is your shield on, preset 2. Very simplistic, not over the top, and it's not tied to each specialist. You can just easily do it for all your loadouts, and you could switch in the game, right? So you've got different equipment. Now, again, the only one I could really think of is the shield on. Possibly you could do, your typical abilities, so armor abilities. Definitely not armor lock. I swear if armor lock's in this, you either have to implement it in a way better way than Halo Reach, or not at all. You could do invisibility, active camouflage. I don't know how you would do that, again, in terms of balancing, but it is possible if you wanted to. And very much just things what you could see ODSTs rocking, right? So definitely shield, that's a big one. And other things possibly. So weapon contracts, again, these could be different challenges and whatnot. You could scrap this and just have it completely in the contract missions if you wanted to. If not, you got weapon contracts here. That could also possibly be a thing where you got to do so much stuff with this attachment and so much stuff with that. Possibly so. And this could also tie into your rank and your prestige and whatnot. Lastly, you got melee. All I think is basically it's just your melee attack. So you could just customize what it is. You can either punch someone or you could hit someone with a different thing. This is where you can kind of make it maybe goofy if you wanted to, or maybe not. You could actually have cool different knives. You could have butterfly, karamba, all that stuff. That's where you could either, choose what you want. So make it all customizable. So then next, talking about customization. Now, if you click, it's very similar because you couldn't really see it, but on the menu screen, there was no option for your actual Spartan, or I should say ODST customization. And that's because it would work very similar to older games like, Halo Reach and all that stuff, where you just click the start button on your controller. I don't know what the equivalent is on PC because I'm very new to PC, but basically your start button on your controller, you press it, you got another menu, and then you got all your customizations here. Now, as you can see, I've taken the liberty to go fully in depth with what everybody wants with customization. No armor coatings, none of that stuff. No limited customization. This is what Halo should have. This is what it should look like. So you got helmet, you got visor. So obviously with each one, these are just main sections, and I'm assuming what you could do is then have subsections in it. So you have the helmet, and then in the helmet you got helmet attachments, and all that stuff involved with them. Very similar to Halo Reach, how you had the helmet, the base helmet you got, and then you could get the attachments. It's like the snorkel and all that stuff. Then you got the visors. You can have different visors, choosing and whatnot. Again, these could all be unlocked with the contracts, however you want to implement it, or even credits. I think credits would work perfectly like Halo Reach did, because I think that was the perfect way to do it with a lot of it. And maybe you have somewhere they're locked behind not paywalls, but behind different challenges. That's how it should be. Now, paywalls could be even decals for the ODST, but I'll get to that later, right? So you got your visors, your shoulders. Again, works with the attachments. Each thing has a different attachment to it. So I love, even for your chest, your wrist, everything to have an attachment on that attachment. I think that would be really cool to separate it. Okay, to make up for what they did in Infinite, where all your attachments for your utility and whatnot for your Spartan was even sometimes a different color where you couldn't change it, where it's just gray. Okay, because that was just, oh, that was miserable, right? And I didn't really play much of Infinite, so this could be the comeback game. So then you got gloves, utility, armor condition. So again, you could choose how gritty it could look. You know, how it could have mud on it, or it could have scratches, or bits where the armor is broken away. I think that would be amazing. Colors, have a color wheel, or have just how it's always been pre Halo Infinite. Just choose a color, secondary and a tertiary color. Um, well, not so much tertiary and armor. It's more for emblems and whatnot. But that would be the exact same. So I reckon you have secondary and primary colors, and then you've got obviously the undersuit. You can change that color, and all that stuff would work that way. And then you could obviously have decals, which you could have your main ones, and then you could have additional ones that you could pay for, right? Next, obviously you've got your presets. So again, you can have different presetted ODSTs. So you can just, I want to rock this one. I want to rock that one, instead of having to change all your things just to match it. I think that'd be really, really cool. Again, you can have photo mode. So again, even when you just make a character, you can take photos. We all like photos and whatnot. And you can zoom in on different bits of the armor in this photo mode. Insignia, so that would be your emblem, usual emblem stuff. Again, very similar to the older games, where you got all the things you can mishmash it, like Halo Reach. Again, I'm relying a lot on Halo Reach because that was the main game I played growing up. So I apologize. Obviously, some of these things are prevalent in other Halo games, but this is where I can just easily just move to. So Halo Reach, a lot of the time I pivot to Halo Reach. So that's why that's the case. Stances, again, you could have different stances for your I keep saying Spartan. I'm used to Spartans, but again, this is ODSTs, which is going to be really cool. So these different stances, they could be basically how your character finishes in the game. So like the end screen, the winning team there. Or it could also be in your player cards, like your Spartan record, where people can see it. Very similar to how this ODST is standing right now. Celebration, I think the one thing I loved, and hate me here, from Black Ops 3 is the celebrations at the end. I think that was so funny. And Halo hasn't really done that. They've tried to with Infinite, and also with Rainbow Six Siege, they tried to do that, but it didn't really work. So again, what I think they should do is do what they did with Black Ops 3, where you had the different ones, you can activate it when you wanted to. I think that would be really, really fun. Voice lines. So different voice lines you could do. So it's very similar to emotes. So not emotes in this game, but instead it'll be voice lines. Very similar to Ghost Recon Wildlands, and I'm sure other games do it too, where you have like a little wheel, and then you can just pick a voice line just to randomly say. I think that'd be really funny. Just add a bit more depth to the game. And maybe with these voice lines, they come with emotes attached to it. Then you got the body, right? So you got the body type. So you can either do really muscular, all of that stuff. So you've got, all of that stuff. You got your voice, again, more masculine or more feminine voice. Skin color, again, you can choose whatever you like. Tattoos, miscellaneous, right? So miscellaneous possibly could be if you wanted what they did in Halo Infinite, which was like one cool things I liked, was you could have different cybernetic limbs and whatnot. I think that would be really cool. And again, it's just all different ways you can express yourself. Because again, you didn't really have these in the older games, and because obviously you got fingerless gloves in a lot of them, or maybe even the helmet you could choose if you didn't want a helmet, like a lot of the ODSTs did, where you can do in Firefight and whatnot. I think that would be cool as well, where you had no helmet. So a lot of times, because you never really got to choose skin color and all that stuff, I think that would be really fun to actually add more depth to it and express yourself more. And possibly what I'm missing here, again, because this is just bare bones, just my idea just splattered onto a screen, you could even have your face customization as well, and how your facial features look. Maybe it's not super in depth. It could be, which would be really, really fun. That would be like top tier. If you could make your own like ODST's head and face, that would be amazing. That's if they really want to make a game was going to last like up to 10 years, and then they could do that. If not, again, you could just do presets. But actually, no, scratch that. I came up with that idea just on the spot. You got to do that. You got to make your own character, like FIFA club kind of style, where you can just make your character like Sims kind of thing. You got to do that. So there you go. That's my idea for that stuff. And that's basically it, guys. So Halo, I don't know what the name could be, right? But it's just a cool ODST, gritty first-person shooter, basically Rainbow Six Siege with Firefight and whatnot. Also, I did forget, you got obviously theater. Every game's got theater. And in the custom games, you could possibly have Forge. Again, where you could just make your own Forge maps, where you could do Rainbow Six Siege-esque things. Because imagine Rainbow Six Siege, or you can make your own map. That'd be really cool. And maybe there's different requirements for the maps to make it actually balanced and whatnot. I don't know how you would implement that. Again, like everything here, I'm just throwing this out here. It might just be completely unbalanced trash, but I'm hoping it's not. I'm hoping it's some value me ranting on today. But yeah, that's basically what I think would be really cool as a Halo game. And if I was on about a dream Halo game at the moment, with where Halo Studios is at the moment, it's so weird saying Halo Studios, where they are at the moment with basically in the gutter, just coming out of Halo Infinite. And we've got a bit of hope though. Unreal Engine, this could work. This could be the game that blows Halo up and just gets us back on the map. Because as Halo fans, we're kind of sick of it now. We want this game to blow up because, again, we used to be prideful and we used to be really happy about going, yeah, I'm a Halo fan. Now, if we say that, it's not the greatest thing. There's a big stigma towards it now where it's Halo, the one with the guys in Fortnite, or the one with Infinite where you got different, like, armor coatings and things, and you charge money for armor. That's the kind of stigma that comes with it, which it sucks, okay? And again, with this game, if they're asking, well, how are we going to make money from it? Firstly, you could actually do what you used to do and have, like, DLC map packs, which I think were amazing in games when they used to just do map packs and all that stuff. I think that would be pretty cool, you could search up for DLC maps. I'd be willing to pay that for a map pack. If not, there could be other things like customizations that do require payment, possibly. But I wouldn't say more in the armor. I wouldn't say that for the ODST armor. I'd say more of the weapon customization and maybe chibis, what they did in Halo, not Halo, and what they did in Rainbow Six Siege and all that stuff, and what they try and copy in Halo Infinite. Sorry. So you could easily do stuff like that. So again, there's a plethora of things, a multitude of things you could do here. But this is basically me putting my idea here, a core idea, which I just welcome anybody to build on. I think this would be a great idea. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video, right? And also check out the merch. Bye-bye.